Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Asian Dating Podcast. Today, I have my good friend and colleague, Jessie, the Real Matchmaker, who specializes in helping women 40 and up with their dating. She helps them with the online takeover and helping them brush up with their online profiles and things like that. Jessie has been in the dating industry for well over 26 years with tons of success matching couples and enjoying date coaching them. And it's just been a great career so far. And I met Jessie actually probably 14 years ago when I started my business with matchmaking. And we've been great friends ever since, helping each other out, matching our clients, giving each other dating advice and
Mhm.
each other business advice. So it's just been a great friendship all these years. And I'm so grateful to have you on the show, Jessie. So, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to help women. I think
Yes.
that's the most important part of it. And I love that we both still really love what we do.
I know, so much fun, so much fun. So today we're going to talk about, I guess, some practical tips to help women out there with their online dating and dating in general. So whether you're in my database and want to be working with a matchmaker or dating on your own, meeting people organically, whatever that may be, Jesse and I will talk about some great tips today. So I'll let you take the floor.
Yeah, let's get started. So I'm going to kind of look back and forth to my phone because I've got some notes on there. I'm going to put my glasses on. This is what happens when you get older. So one of the things is that I specialize in online dating, and I recently got into that over the COVID. COVID kind of forced me into doing something else with matchmaking. And I realized that there was a real need for women 40 plus to feel wanted, to feel as desired by men online, but also to actually make the system work for them. And I think a lot of people don't know how to make online dating work for them. So I hear a lot of, cracks out here on social media, like online dating's crap. I hate it. I want to get off of it. Who needs it? But online dating is a tool. And every tool that we have in our house, your car, whatever, these are tools. And if a tool's used correctly, it will work for you, but it has to be used correctly. And there is no class on how to use online dating. Doesn't come with an information box, so you kind of have to either go to guidance with online dating experts like myself, or really do a lot of research. And I've done a lot of the research, so I've done it for you guys, and I'd love to help you along and give you some of the tips. So I first love one of these things. One of the things I heard recently, I heard a guy say about pictures. He mentioned in his comment, he said, if a woman has 5 pictures up there, but let's just say you put 5 pictures up there, but one of them you're like, I don't really like it, I don't love it, but I've had some compliments on it, but I just had to throw one more up there. He said, don't do it. He said, because if you don't like it, definitely guys aren't going to like it. If you don't love it, guys aren't going to like it because they're so physically oriented. And I thought that was a really great tip, because I do know people that just kind of say, I've got to put 5 up there. Oh, I guess I'll put this one up there. And it's true. Women, we look at it as though, like, that was a really fun day for me, but that's not what guys are looking at. They're looking all only at the physical aspect of it. So if you do not love that photo, do not put it up. And I thought that was really great advice. Don't put too much stock into or effort into online chemistry. I think people are going online and they're wanting to be wowed. They're wanting to have fireworks, which I don't know how that's actually possible online. I only get fireworks over food on online, you know. So and I think I've done this probably myself. May I can tell people I'm newly single. I was in a relationship for 12 years, and I am right where everybody else is at, dating and using the apps and trying to meet someone special. And I do find that I was also doing that, looking for chemistry, like studying their face. And so with women, we tend to pick and gnaw at things and go, what's that? What's that? What's that? So looking for chemistry online, the through the picture is not something that's healthy, because you're going to swipe left on everybody, because you just can't create the chemistry through a picture. Although I will tell you what I like about Hinge right now. Hinge has where you can add a video, and that allows you to see a little bit more of the person's personality, and it allows you to actually hear the voice and to see them in action, and it gives you a little bit more insight to what the chemistry would look like. So I do like that.
So you're on Hinge, so do you advise people to make sure they put a little snippet of a video on there so the other person can get a sense of who they are, how they speak,
Mhm.
what their voice sounds like?
Mhm.
Like, do you suggest that? Would you have you been swiping right more because you found someone's video more appealing? Like you were on the fence about them, but then you saw their video and you're like, huh, okay, I can see the potential.
I personally have been swiping more. I also love that Hinge has these prompts where someone can leave a little voice prompt. And so, like for my voice prompt, I left one that said, "How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?" And you would be so surprised about all the answers that came back. People gave me the right answer, and I was like, "Wait, wow, these are smart guys." you know but I had a lot of guys laugh and say, gosh, say that 10 times over again.
Yeah.
But it allows you to hear their voice. It does allow you to kind of put some connection to it, like he sounds soft, he sounds like his empathy, and then also you get to see the video where you can kind of see their physique. You
Right.
can see what they look like, how they smile, and how they react to the camera. And I think that does allow you to swipe right on more people.
And just the fact that you mentioned about videos on Hinge and stuff, what I've started doing is when I get someone interested in my matchmaking services, I actually film a video to say hi to them as if it was my voicemail to them. So
Oh,
with
nice.
me just saying, hey, this is May with Two Asian Matchmakers. Thank you for contacting us. I would love to, have a time and date for us to, get together. It's like I'm filming my video to say hi to them because I already have my makeup on and I'm already doing my hair for a podcast like this or filming a video for my social media. I thought, okay, I might as well just say hi to them and say, hey, when you're ready, let's connect. You can always text me to see if I'm available and we can hop on a Zoom call or just hop on the phone. But that is way unique even to
Hmm.
my clients than just a text message or
Or
text message
email.
or
Yeah,
voice.
it's such
Right,
a personal touch.
right.
And I think, I have swiped right on people that I've thought like, oh, he was funny. Or like, oh wow, he's in shape.
Right,
Okay,
right.
get it. He's
Yeah.
at the beach, he looks good, So it's made a difference in my life. So I love Hinge for that reason. Because it is giving you a little bit more of a taste of what the person's like in real life.
Right. So what happens if you've made a connection and the guy wants more photos of you, asking for bikini shots or something like that? I mean, you
Hmm.
send him any bikini shots or you just send him something with a low cut, you know? I mean, what do you do if a guy asks for more photos?
Yeah, so not maybe not everybody has a bit has a big social media account. I'm always on social media, and if you're not, maybe the same wouldn't work. But I do have a lot of pictures on social media, so I always say if you want to see more pictures of me, I can give you my Instagram account.
Mm. Okay.
I never send pictures over, because you're one step away from them sending you a dick pic or them getting nude.
Right.
So I don't encourage it. I always tell people like, oh wow, well, I think we should have like a FaceTime before, we get into all that. And if you want a bikini picture, you better be taking me to the beach. Let's talk
Right.
about that.
Okay. That's a
Um,
good segue. Okay, good.
yeah. Yeah. So I kind of deter it, but I don't fall into that at all. I just think it creates a different balance between the man and female.
My one dating tip for men who have the urge to send dick pics is your return of the women responding positively
About your dick.
is actually, instead of sending a dick pic, you just send them a dog pic. It's like,
Right.
if a guy
Right.
just sends a picture of the dog, the
You'll
woman
get so much more
100%
action.
time would say, "Oh my gosh, what a great dog, so cute." Or if it's your neighbor's dog or your sister's dog or whatever, like, I'm telling the men out there that if they want and have this urge to send a dick pic, they should just send a dog pic. I bet you 100% they will get a good response.
They'll
That's
get lots
all I'm
more
telling
kisses and love from
you.
women with a dog pic,
Right.
okay?
Anyway,
Yeah,
okay.
leave the dick pics alone. So another thing that I love is that, you know, many people who make bad profiles. I think
Mm.
women will always say like, he doesn't put any effort into the profile. If he's not putting effort in the profile, he's not gonna put any effort into meeting me. And I think actually a lot of times people that make bad profiles can be awesome dates. I just think that maybe it's something that they don't like. If they're a newcomer online, maybe it's hard for them. They think it's cheesy. That maybe they're a little arrogant or whatnot. But I also think that I would be more suspect about a man that has a perfect profile than a man that has kind of, you know, all over the place profile, because it follows along more with men that have, you know, they kind of throw up whatever. But if they had a perfect profile, I would think it was fake or something.
But if they don't put the effort into it to answer like the basic questions, all they're doing is putting 5 perfect photos, professional photos, and don't really give any info about themselves, isn't that a turnoff though for women? It's
Well,
like your profile is so
absolutely.
generic.
Absolutely. And I didn't mention that they don't answer questions. So
Okay,
what I'm saying is that they have a bad profile. Like it might be just boring, or it might not be overly funny, or
right.
it just might be plain, or the pictures are of them in the yard, or, you know, guys aren't as picture oriented as we are as women. They just don't have that, you know, those coups and ahs of, you know, explaining their life. And if you can, for a minute, just look at it and know that, well, behind all that might be a really good guy. Let me at least message him and see how he messages back.
Sure.
I just wouldn't put so much stock into a person having not such a great profile.
Okay.
I
Okay.
wouldn't put so much stock into it. Dating is not necessarily a numbers game, but it is a practice game. And I love this because it's so true. I went out on a date last night and I practiced, and and I'm reliving the date in my head, and I remember catching myself talking a little bit too much. I remember catching myself not asking enough questions about him. So it is in that sense, it allows you to practice and really be able to you know, not perfect, but be comfortable in your own skin when you meet new people. I think that's the hardest thing to do, is to be comfortable in your own skin when you're meeting someone new.
Right. I mean, it's just you just really have to go on every date and just be the best you can be
Yeah.
and try to have fun. And I say this all the time. It's like if you can't even spend 45 minutes or an hour with somebody, anyone, and make it somewhat entertaining or somewhat fun,
Hmm.
then maybe you weren't supposed to date in the first
Well,
place.
maybe you're not really excited about dating, you
Right,
know?
right,
You have to be in some kind of a frame or mind, but you can't treat people like a number,
right.
because you know, every date has a potential learning experience. And you also have the possibility of liking them. I've
Right.
gone out with somebody before where I was like staring at him across the table thinking, wow, he's like really full of himself. I ended up dating that guy for like 4 months, because by the end of the night, he was more comfortable. He started laughing. It was a lot of him being nervous
Right.
that was giving off that arrogance or the fullness of himself. Once we, you know, got to a point where we were more comfortable, he really let open the side that was really, you know, charming.
Right.
And I thought to myself, oh gosh, I just need to sit here for, 20 minutes to let the guy unwind, you know? So I think that's
Yeah.
important.
I also think it's important that if you are nervous to go ahead and say you're nervous. Like, "Oh
Mhm,
gosh, I didn't
absolutely.
realize I'd be so nervous on this date. I just think you're a great you're a great catch. So I'm actually a little nervous meeting you, or whatever. It may be.
Absolutely.
Or gosh, I haven't dated someone in like 3 months and I'm a little nervous, but I'm glad you're turning out to be such a great date. And I really enjoy getting to know you. Like, who doesn't like a compliment in between, maybe your honesty? I mean, it's
Right.
just a
Right.
perfect way to show people that you're human. So,
Well, I also think it's a perfect way to also show somebody because that you're not weird, you know,
right,
because a lot of times what happens is that this person does not know you.
right,
So they're viewing you as a, brand new person off the street, and when they're viewing you, they don't know if your nervousness is being quiet or looking down
right,
or looking out or answering kind of with a little bit of a step, taking a step forward. They might think like, what's wrong with this person?
right.
But if you say something like, hey, I'm just a little bit nervous. I mean, I didn't expect to meet you. You're just a guy like you. You're really a nice guy who's attractive. This
Right,
is really going well.
right,
You will get them so much into your gooey spot right there and be like, oh wow, it'll set the date in a different level,
right,
and the guy will appreciate it. He'll appreciate knowing it, and it actually is really enduring.
right. I agree. I agree.
So
Okay,
that's a good point. Um,
what
the other
else?
thing I was going to say is that having a strategic plan online is really important. I think most people do not have a strategic plan online. Having a strategic plan of spending 30 minutes to an hour online a day only. That's it. And maybe some people will say, that's too much. You really need to spend about 30 minutes online because you have to devote some time to this. And if you were to ask me, I would tell you need 30 minutes every day online because you need the algorithm and the matchmaking app to see that you're present, and that they literally will support the people that are present. They will move you to the top of the list if you're being present and active on. They reward you for being active on the app. And so making yourself be present will allow you to actually move further up the scale of the women that are already on there and the newcomers that are coming in. So it's so important to do at least 30 minutes online a day.
What if you're only online 3 times a week, like 4 times a week, but an hour each time? Like, does that matter? Like the
I
total
would divide
time?
it out. I would, because you're not, you think that your fight online is just you and this men. It's not. It's you, the men, the algorithm,
Mhm.
and you have to really strategically, and that's why I use the word strategic. You have to really play the game of, I'm going to spend a half an hour, or you can do 20 minutes, maybe do 15. Just go
Okay.
through and answer some of the messages. Just go through and switch some of your pictures around. Just go on and swipe on, say I'm going to swipe till I get to 20,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
just, but allowing the system, the tool of algorithm on the dating apps to know that you're present, you're here, and you want to meet someone. They're going to reward you for it.
Okay, so you're single, Jesse,
Uh-huh.
and you're dating actively like you encourage your clients to do. So would you say every time you're on the app, 30 minutes a day, do you have a number? Because I'm nerdy with numbers. Like, should you have a goal of swiping 5 guys? Yes, or 10 guys, swipe right on 10 guys. Like, do you have
Yeah.
your own personal plans and goals when you're doing online dating yourself every day?
Yeah. So my goal is, yes, I do have a goal, and thank you for bringing up that I'm single. I appreciate that.
You
So
said you were single.
I'm just kidding. Thanks for digging that into the ground. Um, anyways, yeah, this is what I tell my clients, and this is actually the rule that I do for myself as well. So I will swipe within my 30 minutes. I will make sure that I just go through and I swipe 40 guys.
Mhm.
And I'm swiping only based on their age and if I think they're attractive. Not like cute, hot, not overly handsome, not goo goo gaga, woo. Just he's cute, swipe. And I
Mhm.
swipe right on all those guys. And I'm not reading their profile, I'm not doing anything else. And then once I do that, I come back through and then I will whittle that down from the 40 people to that I'm going to email actually 10 of the guys. So I have a set plan of 40 swipes, 40 swipe yes, 10 emails, and out of those 10, the odds are that you're going to get one or two guys to respond back, ending up in one date.
Mhm. Okay.
But if you had that happening every day, you'd find your mate.
Okay. So how many dates do you suggest women go on if they're actively looking for somebody? How many dates a month would you say is a good number to show that, okay, you are actively dating, you are making dating a priority?
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend that has already gone out on 3 dates today and it's only 5 o'clock. That's too much for me. I
Okay.
don't need breakfast, lunch, and then a dinner date. That's too much for me.
Mhm.
But I do suggest that you do a minimum of one date a week.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it be a lunch date or a breakfast date or a, appetizer date. I don't love dinners, but appetizer date. I think that you should do it. Like, force yourself to do it. I mean, I've done gym dates, I've done hiking dates. I did a salt tub date where we went and we were submerged in salt
Oh,
water. I did that with a guy for the first time, but that was actually really fun.
yeah.
And I don't know that he was my type of guy, but to have as a boyfriend, but I loved his creativity and I was open to the idea. He was really into health, and it was something that I tried differently, and it was a really different date. Like it was not about the alcohol. It wasn't about, dining. It was more about just us in a room talking with hot water and talking about the salt water, how it
Yeah.
affects our body and things. But it was
Right.
a really different date, and I liked it. He had a lot to say, and it was interesting.
Yeah.
But I do think if you want to find your mate and you want to really make some headway in this online dating world, you're going to need to go out once a week, minimum. And, I force myself to do it too. Ladies, I know it's hard, but I force myself to do it too.
But that's again, no different than if you're going out to hang out with a platonic friend, a girlfriend,
Absolutely.
or it's like you do go out once a week to nurture and hang out with your friends. So why wouldn't you also try to go out once a week to hang out with someone of the opposite sex and go out on a date? So I
Mhm.
get that. Like you're not going to be a hermit inside your house all week and not see any of your girlfriends. Same thing, like you wouldn't be a hermit and not focus on your dating life by just hiding at home. So
Yeah.
um, you
So one of
can't,
the things,
yeah, oh, I was just gonna say you can't fool yourself that you're dating if you're just scrolling through apps and messaging people, but
and
not
never meeting
really
anyone.
getting out there. Right, right,
You're not dating. You're just
right,
on. You're on there with a video game called Binge.
right,
You
right.
know. But um, excuse me. One of the things that I put on my app and all my clients' app is at the very end, I separate it from the little profile. Even if I'm on Bumble and I've only got this many words, I put an asterisk sign and I dig date nights and phone calls.
Mm,
And I let guys know right away. And they all, when they call me, they're like, oh, you like date nights. Okay, let me plan a date night.
sweet.
Like, ladies, you have to tell guys what you want. Like, you can't, let them assume that, they can read your mind. We're all lazy in this Amazon, package world. In the DoorDash world, we can get we don't have to leave our homes.
Right.
But you do have to tell people what you want, and you do have to make sure that they know this is what I like.
Yeah.
I like date night. I dig date nights, and I say it funny so that they like go, oh, that's funny. I dig date nights and phone calls.
I really like that. That's a
Yeah.
really great dating tip to put like a little asterisk of what
Mhm.
you like. Like, I love phone calls, or I love texting, or I love funny
Right.
memes, or whatever that is.
Right.
Like, it's just throwing it out there and letting the guy know. Again, communication is so important. And that's a great way of, kind of setting your expectations out there without being bossy, right? So I
Right, you're
love that.
planting the seed. You're planting
Right.
the seed, and
Okay.
you're letting him. You're giving. Sometimes guys need direction, so you're giving him direction to follow.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many guys respond to that with me. They're all like, "Well, I know you like date night,
Yeah.
And I've taken it even further on my prompt on my Hinge. I've said on there on the prompt, I've said. Dating me looks like going out on a real date and ordering a cheese plate, listening to live music. And I cannot tell you how many guys say, I'm looking for live music right now
Right.
and cheese plates.
Yeah, and that's such a great way to let him know what you like. So when he plans a date, he
Mhm.
is already ahead of the game, right? So
Yep.
why not, as women who are single out there, like give the guy some hints. Like you can't
Right.
just expect him being a mind reader, like, oh, you live in Pasadena and I live in Culver City. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you can't pick a place. Like
Yeah.
help the guy out. Nothing
Yes.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
So those are things that I put on my profile to help them out so that they're automatically, I'm tuning them in to do it.
Yeah.
Um, Another great tip that I love, and I got this from, I can't remember, I read it somewhere, but instead of writing your profile and saying things like I like, blah, 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 I like, people are so accustomed to reading the eyes that they don't identify with the eyes. It doesn't draw them in.
Right.
So change the eyes to we.
Mhm.
Like, we would like to do this. We would go on this vacation. It's as they're reading it, they're imagining the we.
Right. You're painting a picture for
You're
them, like,
already
yeah, okay,
you're already convincing. It's psychology of the words, getting them to consider the we.
right. Like, oh, I would love it if we go on a bike ride or
Right.
if we
Yeah.
go and watch some movies or that
Right.
kind of stuff. Okay, I
Right.
like that. Good
We
tip.
will be eating good food,
Right.
and they love that kind of stuff because it allows them to see, to psychologically turn the I into the we.
Right.
And it sounds friendly.
Right. It does. It does. Okay. So what
It
do you
sounds a
think
lot
about
more friendly than the I. Yeah.
right. So I know before we were talking about photos and all that stuff. What do you think about people having their dogs in the photos or their kids in the photos or too much extracurricular stuff in the photos? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
It's a bad idea. All of them are bad ideas.
No
So,
sunglasses, no
so
hats.
no sunglasses. And a trick with sunglasses is it's a great way. If you're gonna have sunglasses on, you're out and about, and you're like, someone's snapping a good picture because you look great. Throw them up on top of your head. Everybody looks good like that, like with their hair pulled back, the sunglasses. So it's, you don't have to take them off. Just throw them on top of your head. It's a good trick with that. But here's the thing, ladies with dogs. I have 3, so I love them. But guys tend to have this jealousy inside of them that they may feel as though you might not have enough time for them when they see you and your dog or you and your cat. And that's mainly because women, when we do have an animal or a child, it's like we're the mama bear, we're guarding them with our life and nothing's coming between me and this dog, you know. And I probably feel that same way about my dogs. I know I do, and I know you do too, May. But the thing of it is that with guys, in a picture, he doesn't know you, he doesn't know your dog, and they immediately say like, "Oh, she's probably one of those people that needs to have her dog with her all the time. She's probably one of those people that
Right.
she loves your dog more than she loves me." You know, so I would not do it. The only time that dog pictures work and cat pictures work is with guys, because women, as women, we look at them and we go, oh, it softens the guy. It
Right.
makes the guy likable. It makes the guy friendly. But
Okay.
it does not work with women. Men tend to stay away from it.
So we should tell women don't take photos of you and your cats or dogs in the
No,
photos. And
no.
but men, if you have a dog or a cat, it's okay that you take
It's
photos.
not okay. It's actually encouraged,
Right,
because the
right,
women are looking for that heartfelt guy who cares for something, loves something. And you can see it when we're with dogs. You
yeah.
can see it. We're like, oh, and so when a guy does it, it softens him, it makes him nice, it all of a sudden makes him approachable. But with women, it's standoffish.
What about a man who takes a picture with his Porsche or his nice car? Is that a turn off when you see
I,
online dating profiles with some guy taking pictures in front of his car?
it's not if they're on Grinder,
Okay. All right.
because it's a
So,
male dating site.
so you
If
don't
they're
really care to see guys with their
Nobody
updated
cares. Women
profiles.
just don't care
Right.
unless you're gonna give me that car, or you're donating it to me, or you built it for me or bought it for me. What do I care what kind of car you have, I
Okay. And that,
mean, it's
but I know we talked about the pets and stuff. So would you suggest they take photos with their kids or no? Like in
I
photos?
wouldn't. I mean, I feel as though listen, you're already going to say you have kids in your profile. You don't need to repeat it. You don't need to keep pounding it in someone's head like, my kids are so important to me. I love my kids so much. Everybody knows you do.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Right.
If you don't, you're a bad person. So you don't need to have all the pictures with them. No one's and you don't want to confuse guys. And one of the things about women's photos is I tell them, don't wear things that are like paisley or with different patterns on it, because believe it or not, guys are so focused that they do not like to see things that take them out of focus, and clothes are one of the things that take men out of focus. So I really do suggest to all my clients and myself is that I wear black colors, like what I'm wearing today, a bright pink. I do not wear any patterns. I don't mix it up like that, because guys can't focus. And so you add kids in, a car, and all these other things, they just can't focus. Can't focus. You're the prize. You're the queen bee. You're the one sitting up here. Let's get you in the frame. That's it.
I agree. I feel like people will always say no if there's confusion. So if they see a picture with a bunch of kids, he's like, doesn't even want to take the time to read the profile if they're
No.
her kids or not, or it's just next. It's like just
Yeah.
move on. So
Yeah, I looked at a profile the other day of a guy and his brother, and I thought to myself, wait, they look really alike. Which one's which? Like, it
right,
confused me, and it kind of made me be like a little bit like, I just
right,
got a little like,
right, because you were
Um,
confused and you didn't want to do the homework to figure out who it was. And also
no.
don't post photos of your friends who are hotter than you. Like,
Yeah, what a
yeah,
stupid thing to do.
right,
Like,
right,
I mean, seriously, if you have friends that look better than you, they're gonna focus on the friend.
right. Yeah, I agree.
Not you. So yeah, just listen, it's your dating life. This is about you. This is your time. Make your profile about you, and
Yeah.
have clear pictures with clothes that are, solid colors, and that make you stand out. Listen, I did online dating last night for a guy, and so I was obviously on the reverse of Hinge, looking at women. I'm not gonna lie to you, May. I was like, these women are hot. I could not believe how beautiful their pictures were. I was like, if this is what men get to look at, you better up your game, because I could not believe how pretty these women were. Some were 40, 42. I saw one that was 50. Their pictures told a story.
Yeah.
It was just really put together. I don't care if they were filtered, this and that, doesn't matter. That's not what the point is. The point of it is that men are looking at these. So if you don't have something that stands up to someone else's profile, if you don't have something that's going to grab their attention, you are going to miss out.
So how do women get a chance to look at their competition? Like you just have to use a friend's app and
No, you
look at
can
them?
actually sign up for online dating and use a different email and just not pay for it and put your man.
Oh,
It
right.
lets you,
You could
it
check
lets you.
out what your competition is and what they're looking at. Or would you suggest people doing that, looking at other profiles and reading them? And if
Yeah,
they
good
like a
suggestion.
profile, they should kind of model it and,
Yeah.
do
Yeah, absolutely. And not only model it, like there's some great poses. I took a screenshot of two girls' poses. I was like, oh, I like that. That's so
right,
cute. And I mean, I stopped me, and I'm not interested in women,
right, right.
but it really does matter for you. I think a lot of times people go on these things naively, and especially women, we carry this, cape of, I'm educated, I've got a great job, I've got to own a house, I've got a rental property, I go on vacation twice a year.
Right.
And then but guys are like, who cares? Like,
Right. They don't care
they
about
don't
any of
care.
that.
They don't
Right.
care about any of that. So stop leading with those things and lead with like the fun, but take a look at all these other women that are your competition. Even
Mhm.
if they're younger than you. You don't sit here and say, well, I'm not in my 30s, so I'm not why would I even look at a girl in her 30s?
Right.
Because that's what guys are looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to look at your competition so you get a bird's eye view of how your profile looks and how someone else's profile looks, and who's swiping on these guys that you want.
Right. Right. Yeah. I agree. Great
It's
tips. Okay.
yeah, so it's so important. I'm telling you, reverse online.
So one last question, how do people find you if they want to work with you, and where do they find you?
Yeah, so they can find me at therealmatchmaker.com. Um, and you can reach out to me through my email at jessie@therealmatchmaker.com. And my phone number is listed on both those things. But I will take photos for you. I'll revamp your profile. I will help you with messaging and help you with your swiping order. On top of that, I will actually help condition you to go on the date and flirt with guys that you may be going on trying to study like a science project. No, let's get into the flirting mode and have some fun and create some curiosity and some energy between the two of you. That's how you connect.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, last night the guy told me, it was like funny. He was like, "Wow, first of all, you look better than your pictures. That doesn't hardly ever happen." And then he was just like, "You're so easy to talk to." I get that from everybody, and it doesn't just come from because I'm from Minnesota. It doesn't just come because I'm a nice person. I actually really, really take care of myself in a dating situation. I love on myself enough to be kind to others and to listen, be a great listener, and to not pick them apart. I just don't pick them apart. I'm like, they're human. They're here just like me. If I don't like them, that's okay. But he's a good guy.
Right. Yeah. Be open-minded. I feel like a lot of times when you're dating, you just have to be open-minded, and you just trying to get to know their gooey centers and see what makes them tick and what makes them a good guy. You just never know. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many men that I've probably dated that I could have ended up with if I would have given them a chance and not been so critical and not be
Mhm.
so judgmental. And of course, when you're in your 20s and 30s and 40s, you have things that you're so judgmental about. But as you get older, you kind of really realize what's important: their character, their
Yeah.
integrity, their honesty, all that stuff that you probably don't really value as much when you're in your 20s, right? Because you just want a hot guy
Yeah.
who's tall in your 20s.
Right.
And that
Like,
is
and let's
so
be on
hard.
and let's be honest, May, if we were to do the lineup of your old boyfriends, they would probably, if we put them all back online and put them on paper, you'd swipe left on most of them.
Right.
So the thing of it is that you've never made really good choices. You've just always had this lockbox of a picture with a frame in it and the picture that came with it. So you think that that's the ideal person and the ideal relationship, but that's not how life really works. And you've never chosen that way. So
Right.
why start now?
Right.
And and I wanted to say one more thing to you, as a good tip, is that one of the things I tell women and all my clients, I say, keep your online dating like in a cocoon. Keep everything that you do in a cocoon. Don't tell your girlfriends, don't tell your mama, don't tell your sister. Keep it just right here, because once you start letting outsiders come in, they start to disrupt the cocoon. They open it up and they let the butterfly out early and it dies. And that's because everybody wants to be a hater of something. They want to have input, they want to give their opinion, and they really have no business doing that. So, create this cocoon effort of online dating just for you and the guys, and fall in love. Have that on your mind. Only go online when you're happy. If you're not happy, you're going to be pissed off with your swipes and be leaving ticked off messages. And I tell people, when you write your profile, you swipe and you respond to guys, make sure you're in a decent mood, because that just elevates the messages. It elevates your profile, and it just makes you come across easier and fun.
Great, great tip. Well, Jessie, I so appreciate you being on my podcast today. And for you single people out there, if you want to be part of my database, always looking for great single women, Asian women, contact me at may@twoasianmatchmakers.com. Subscribe, like this video, and you can always email me with any questions at may@twoasianmatchmakers.com. So thank you, Jessie. I will talk to you later. Bye.
So much fun. Thanks, May. Happy
Thanks.
swiping.